have reached Devon Merritt. If you're watching this, that means there's another episode of the Parlance podcast about to begin. Familiar face, man. At this point, you my co-host. At this point, you my co-host. But again, so like the fact of the matter is you guys see him so much because a lot of the idea of the podcast starting was based off of conversations that me and him used to have, or we still do have, but used to have when we were roomies. At one point in time, we did stay together. We was working our way up, working at the Pizza Shack.
That's a fact.
And we used to just have crazy conversations that
our parking lot was the jungle.
Yeah,
we didn't go out at night.
Dude, man, I used to be so scared because it's like you never know when you gonna see a raccoon, bro.
That's cool. That nigga.
Oh shit! And we had that motherfucking river in the backyard too, bro. But
them damn speed bumps.
Yeah, bro. I remember so when I was apartment shopping, bro. Like legitimately, the way I found an apartment was I was just looking up stuff, bro. Like we're apartments near me. And whatever the lowest price was, I'm
they said that was an apartment,
bruh. So I went to find that apartment. And it was like the rent is only $5.90. I said, this sounds like my speed right now.
My stilo.
Keep in mind, this was like years ago, and I so I looked it up. I looked how much the price was. It was like $5.90. And then I started scrolling through the pictures and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, it ain't too bad for $5.90.
They showed you the nice unit.
So I drove there after work one day, and that speed bump, bro, like I drove in the wrong part. I drove in the exit, and I hit one go, do. I said, oh, shit, I don't live. What the fuck was that?
No, that whole parking lot had speed bumps, and some was worse than others.
Bro,
I remember the time you was moving in, you was on some dumb shit. You took us the long fucking way.
That was the right way, though.
You're right. It was the right
and I had
way.
learned from my mistakes, so technically, bro,
I started cutting. I started cutting immediately. I didn't take that second one. I'm cutting, and I'm just park over there.
See, I'm trying to do things the right way, and he's trying to be a negative influence on my life.
It's funny because I don't know if you remember the one person apartment, they had liquor bottles in their window.
Oh, like across from us?
Yes. Yeah. Like hella liquor bottles.
Right.
Like God leave.
I remember one time I was walking to work, and this is around the time I started getting like a lot of tattoos. Because I think around the time we reconnected, I only had a couple.
Yep.
But I started getting a lot of tattoos. And like you said, a nigga, I walk outside, I believe I'm going to work. I had a t-shirt on, and he was like, hey, bro, where you get your art from? And I told him, man, there's some place up in Brunswick or whatever, because that's where I worked at the time. And he was like, hey, man, I do tattoos in my living room. I was like, hell no. What the fuck?
But he might have been cool.
I ain't gonna care what you like. Looking back on it now, some of them like basement artists be cold. Like they just don't want to work in the shop.
Yeah, because they get taxed.
And that's the thing. So that was another thing too. My dad made me promise if I ever got tattoos, he don't like mind them, but he don't love them. But he was like, if you gonna keep getting them, you gotta go to a shop. And so I gave him my word that I would keep going to a shop. But the other reason I was apprehensive was like, because the apartment we lived in. So I'm like, bro, like, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that good. So I ain't finna come to you.
Listen, man, he might have been on the come up.
Hey, look, you know what?
Practice on somebody else. Don't practice on
No, back then, I wasn't thinking the same way. If you happen to ever be not a fan because I don't believe in that, a supporter of mine, and you like, oh, he talking about me, I apologize. I was 19, dog. I'm 30 years old now. But long story short, going back to what I was saying in the beginning, a lot of the show was based around our conversation, though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if we talked about it in prior episodes, but me and him were like so super close growing up, like 5, 6 years old. I was over his man house like every other weekend, if not every weekend at one point in time. Then life happened, and then we reconvened, and it was just like nothing ever happened, bro. We got super close again, and both went through a very tough time in our lives, and we came together and we helped build each other up. Now we both driving fucking trucks, got our own spots. You know what I'm saying? So uh, when we think about a lot of the stuff that we talk about, it leads me to one word, and it's perspective.
Right.
I will say that living with you and getting to understand your life, not from what I've seen, but from how you internalized it, made me start thinking about a lot of things that I went through and how I internalized it, and how there's people in the world who go through things similar to me, different than me, and there's people who will go through things similar to me that'll have a whole different perspective, and there are people who can go through things that are completely opposite from the situations and circumstances that I've come up under or went through, and still have a very similar mindset.
Right.
So, as a man who is very thoughtful, when I say the word perspective to you, what does that mean?
Because I'm still thinking back to that apartment. It ain't had no security doors.
Dude.
Anybody could have came in there.
You literally just walked into your, like, hey, who was you, the pizza man? No, you're not.
But perspective, a viewpoint on life, that's what perspective mean to me. A view or a thought
like
process.
A POV type.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so when you were growing up, what was your if you were to say, like, what is your perspective on your life now compared to what was your perspective on your life when you were going through the things that ultimately molded you into who you became?
That's a good question. You're getting good with this.
Yeah, because like as I said, I was talking to the bros yesterday about this. Like my whole point of this, like I said, is based off of conversations that me and you used to have.
Yeah.
But it's also like really motivated in the sense of like, not like big shout out to Big Sean, not seeing eye to eye can be fixed with a heart to heart, or maybe if I understand you a little bit better, we can avoid conflict.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or maybe if I got the time to, you know what I'm saying, understand the way you look at things based off of how you came up, or based off of your personal values, or based off of what you was taught, I can understand how to help you navigate some things too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I done find out a lot of things about myself, just from how other people decided to look at things, and I go, damn, maybe if I thought more that way, in that perspective, I could, you know what I'm saying? Like, even we just had a conversation, me, you, and Brandon the other day, and you introduced a perspective on how you deal with a particular person in your life. And I was like, damn, if I did that, maybe I wouldn't be so stressed out.
Right.
So the reason why I do that is because I feel like perception is everything, bro.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? I met a dude, and I hope he's doing okay. I used to work at Stavers part-time like a year ago. And that was just me trying to get some extra money, like funneled to the side. And I met a dude who was a recovering addict. And he literally told me perception saved my life. I had to learn to look at my life one way. Out of everything I'd been through, all the lessons he'd been taught, he said once I understood a certain perception of myself, it helped me clean myself up. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny because people make fun of me a lot now because I'm like, that's my favorite word. But it's like, Lord, if you can introduce other perceptions, bro, like you start to like really realize, man, there's more to a lot, bro. People say stuff about their circumstances and the way they see things from their perception that blow my mind sometimes. Because I never would have thought about it that way.
Right.
And then I'll implement that into my way of thinking, and now I'm moving in a whole different way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So to answer your question, because I was about to say something, I'm like, wait, let me go back to the question. How have you, I'm going to go, you said from now to then or then to now?
Then and now.
Okay.
Because I think, not to cut you off, but like, when you going through it, it's different. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. So my viewpoint, damn, I was about to say it wrong. Then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then now. My perspective then when I was younger was, it's going to sound like a dictator, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
My word, a highway.
Yeah.
By any means necessary. That's how it was then. because I was in survival mode and I was going off of that and what I grew up around. Now, I like to listen to people's perspectives and ask them more questions. That's why you joke with me. What does this button do?
Yeah.
I ask a lot more questions instead of assuming, because when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's different in thinking that I could think of top of the head. What's your definition of perspective? Or what's perspective mean to you?
I'll say the same thing, like a personal point of view that is built from multiple things, like how you were raised, particular set of emotions, and what you believe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, man, and this is not to be on no conscious stuff. There was the thing that really got me really open to like for people's perception or perspectives on life is when I worked at Pizza Fire. There was a girl there who she
named
was.
up the place.
Okay. Yeah, it was a girl there who was she was bisexual, but she was like more into girls.
I know who you're talking about.
You know, okay, and
Wonder how she's doing.
yeah, I do too. I think about it from time to time. And the reason why I say that though is because I remember like I was a manager there, and so like
You gonna get your acronym?
not today.
Go ahead.
But I used to be there like 2 hours before the store opened, and then I always had one opener with me. So it was this particular day I was there opening. She came in and like you could tell she was crying.
Right.
And I was like, yo, what's up with you? And, you know, what's going on? And she was
pizza?
huh?
You want a pizza?
I didn't get that one. Went over my head.
Because you worked at a pizza spot. You was going to offer her pizza to cheer her up.
I mean, she got a free one because she worked there.
You must not show. Continue.
Yeah, I was talking to her about what's wrong. And I had already known she was bisexual and leaning more towards women or whatever. And she was younger. Like, I don't want to say at the time, she might have been 16, 17. And I was like, you know, what's going on? And she was telling me, like, you know, I hate my life. And I was like, why? She was like, well, because I tried to come clean to my mother and she wasn't having it for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm just trying to live my truth. You know what I'm saying? And it took me back to when I used to work at Bob Evans, and there was a gay girl that I was very, very cool with too. And she was like, I knew I was gay since I was like 3 years old. I always like playing with females more, this and the third. And again, this is not to be on no kinds of stuff. I'm just saying the reason why I learned perspective and stuff like that is because I know and was around a lot of people who did not believe that people could just be gay. They think it's a choice. But I've never met a gay person who liked their life. Never met. I know people who are proud about it and like don't give a fuck what nobody else say, but I've never met a gay person who said, I would choose this. Because I've even asked, like, would you choose this life for you if it really was a choice? And they were like, every single one of them said no. So the reason why I would say that taught me so much is because I was like, not gonna say raised around it, because my dad and my mom, they taught me to mind my business first of all. Like, I don't give a fuck. What you eat don't make me shit.
Yeah.
But when I was seeing what she was going through from home, it made me think about like, damn, like that's an older way of thinking. Like, you're not allowed to be gay, but you know, even see that you're like emotionally killing your daughter.
Right.
To the point where she's venting to the manager at a pizza spot about how she hates her life.
Early in the morning.
Yes, bro. Like a 16, 17-year-old hating their life because they mom don't, you know what I'm saying, take their perspective into perspective.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is, you know, so it made me sad, bro. Like it fucked me up a little bit to the point where I thought about that shit all day because it's like, dude, like how as a parent can you not accept your child? You know what I'm saying? And it made me think about what she was going through. And it made me think about like, you know, how would I feel if I had something, if it was more than me that I wasn't accepting, you know what I'm saying? And that alone, when we say the word perspective, is the reason why I'm so big on it. It's just because I think at some point, bro, everybody's point of view, everybody's reasoning has to be considered. even if it's some bullshit, bro, like, you still have to be able to listen to somebody because everybody got a reason around for why they do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's good or bad, like, get to learn people. You know what I'm saying? Get to know people. And then, like I said, you have more to offer because then I feel like when she told me that, I was able to start, you know, being there for her. Like, me and my girlfriend went to one of her shows because she, like, used to do the musicals and stuff like that. And she would tell me, like, her family wouldn't show up to it. You know what I'm saying? Well, I think her little sister would.
Yeah, she was in theater.
Yeah, and, you know, so I'm like, you know, I'm going to support you because I don't want you to do nothing that, you know what I'm saying, harmful to yourself. I want you to know there's people out here who respect you. You know what I'm saying? There's people out here who got your back, and you know, your perception of life and your perspective on how you should live your life and what makes you happy should be supported. Especially if you're not doing anything negative, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think, like, your sexuality has anything to do with perspective. All I'm saying is, I put myself in her shoes when she told me how she hated her life. Mm-hmm. I would imagine, like, what is her perspective on life, knowing that she feels like she lives in a house that she can't be herself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You think it's in between perception and perspective?
I think they're of the same cloth, but I think there's steps to it.
Elaborate.
So I think perspective is how you see it now. I think perception is how you see it when you got on the information.
What's the steps?
Listening, internalizing, understanding, research, honestly, because sometimes I think we build perspectives or perception off of things based off of how we feel, and you could be wrong.
Or hearsay.
Or hearsay, right. I've done it before, like, legitimately.
That's why I say hearsay.
Yeah, I've done it before. I built my part. And then, like, when you get to know the whole scope of things, you're like, oh, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I say, like, my perception of you can be different than my perspective of you, because my perception, if you ask me, has to be, well, it doesn't always have to be. I think it should be based off of what I know.
Right.
For facts. My perspective, I can see somebody walking outside, you know what I'm saying, that based off of how they dress, I can have a perspective on them. Yeah. But if I don't know them, how do I perceive them? I can't really, if you ask me.
Right. So. Oh, I was more judgmental too, previously. What you just said made me think about it. Mm-hmm. I would just look at somebody or hear somebody talk and be very judging.
I used to be too, and I ain't even gonna count it, bro. Like, I still have it in me, but I try to not do it because it's like, it's no good that come from it, bro.
At all.
Then on top of that, it's just like, I don't care no more. But it's just, hey, what other people do that I don't agree with ain't got nothing to do with me. I call it minding my business.
Sometimes, if it's just a Joe Blow, okay, no, I don't care. If it's somebody close to me, now I have questions.
Yeah.
And I get upset when people hit me with the I don't know. How are you an adult? You don't know. You can't think of no words.
Yeah.
None. I don't know. I'm just like this. No. Let's pull back the layers. Let's talk about perception and perspectives. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like pulling back the layers. And that's another thing I will say that, like, it's possible about perception and perspective and stuff like that. When you do the work, like, all right, I had this perspective, but now I start to see that this perspective may not be, you know what I'm saying, right.
Yeah.
How do I get the information needed to change my perspective and build a new perception? You know?
And not be too headstrong. Because some people will know they did the one wrong and still try to fight the good fight in the same 10 toes. Mm-hmm. And I just wonder about those people, like, why? Because you don't want to look wrong in front of people. You don't want to admit that you wasn't correct. What is it? You know what I mean? Like, what's the underlying reason?
Shit and yeah. So, one is a term that a lot of people use, and I want to get your opinion on it. And the reason why is because a long time ago I had, I ain't gonna say it's kind of a dispute with my father, and he told me, like, so you know how you talk to somebody, you're like, man, I feel like this, or I feel like this, or I feel like that, which is a very perception-based phrase.
Yes.
When you say the word, I feel like, or you like, say you explain it to me, I'm doing something wrong, you like, Devon, I feel like you're doing this wrong.
Or I think.
Yeah. Do you think, so, okay, so that's basically what I'm getting at, right? That's a perception kind of phrase.
Right.
Do you think there's any emotion in that particular phrase, or do you feel like when you say those things, it just comes off as natural because we naturally have a perception, and that's how we relate our perception.
I think it's both. I feel like when you say I feel, it's off emotion. You know, I'm a literal person.
Yeah.
Feeling is emotion. When you say I think, you're using logic. But they could be the same or just sayings that people heard and say on a regular that they may be like, oh, I'm saying it, but let me reword it. But then they don't have the time to do that and they don't know another word to say. Example, like what would you say instead of I think or I feel?
I don't know.
See?
And that's where I get at too, because he was telling me basically he feels as though I should stop saying I feel because I'm leading with emotion. But I didn't think I was. I thought more so I was leading off an instinct. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like this is what it seems like.
Because feeling is an instinct, so.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't see that as an emotion. I see that as a reflex. And I feel like when you, I keep saying it.
This is what trying to have
whooping after this episode, my nigga, I told you to stop saying it. But no, I think when you say it, it's kind of just based off of what you instinctually gather. You know what I'm saying?
And when you go off instincts, that's feelings.
Mm-hmm. But how would you explain that feeling? Like, if I was to say, explain being mad, you can explain that to me.
Yes.
Explain your instincts.
Reaction.
But is that an emotion that you would group with anger? Sadness?
Yes. Definitely. Your instincts pull all of those, I believe. Because if you're in a fight, your instinct is what? To either parry,
or reflexes,
duck, or punch.
But what here's mom saying?
Hold on, and if you sad, your instinct is what? To cry.
Nah, everybody.
Okay, punch a wall.
That's mad.
But so the sad instincts cry, play sad music. What's some other sad instincts?
I guess like isolation.
Yeah. D&D for your phone in your life. So yeah.
See, but that's what I'm saying. So like I feel like I can explain sadness. Like I feel like I can't explain instinct besides it being a reflex, and reflex is not a word that I would group with other emotions.
When you see your girlfriend, what's your instinct? Like when she comes through the door?
To greet her, and I'm happy. I think they're triggers, but I still think I couldn't group it with an emotion. So, hey, bro, how you feel? Instinctual. Nigga, what? But nigga be like, hey, how you feeling? I'm cool, man. I'm happy.
I'm gonna start.
When last time you said?
I'm gonna start saying this.
When last time somebody be like, how you feeling today? You be like, instinctual.
Never. But after this episode, I should start.
I'm feeling instinctual.
And when they ask what that mean, I'm feeling everything. My feelings all over the place.
How you feeling today? Instinctual. My reflexes is on point today, nigga.
I wish a nigga were.
I can catch a bullet, nigga. You ever been in the gym and you knew like, I got to got work in today, but you just ain't having enough energy?
I know exactly what you're talking about, bro. Just that little extra month, man. But
So let me tell you what I do.
Okay.
I visit Red Cotton Bun. They have an app, they have a website, and I got this Total War.
Oh, okay.
They got pre-workouts just like this Total War that I got. They got other supplements that you can use, and they got merchandise. So what you can do is download the app or visit the website. Use my discount code DNarrative1208.
Okay.
20% off your purchase, man.
I said, let's my guy.
All right, well, let me ask you this, and this is the final question. Do you think that your perception of life will grow any more than it has?
Yes, I do. there's certain goals and places I want to go in life. And I feel like once I hit those milestones or even come close to them, it's going to be a whole different version of me. Even with me having braids. For years, I didn't have braids, bro. I had fade with the waves, or a taper.
Go fade with the wave.
Yeah, or the ski board.
Ski ball, yeah.
That's
I
why.
done had this for a little minute, man. My head shake funny, so I gotta keep some hair.
So now, like, because my best friend just asked me, do you think you'll cut your hair? I ain't cutting shit.
My perception of life is different when I look like this.
No, for real, because I didn't got, even, I was about to say compliments, even your brother said I look different. So no, this is,
It's a whole new perspective on life.
Yeah.
That's how I feel when I get my facial hair out. Mm-hmm.
yeah, when I get to your status, I'm going to have another perspective. I ain't going to cut it. You know, I was goatee gang. I was loud and proud with it. But yeah, I said that to say yes, I do believe my perspective is going to change. And I feel like in life, if your perspective's not changing, I don't want to say something wrong with you, but you're very stagnant. I don't want to be around stagnant. It stinks.
Got one more thing, because this is something that you actually posted. Des Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
He said you stay away from people who can't see out of your own perspective, outside of their own perspective.
Yeah.
Are there
Chelsea
people
for paying
like
attention
yeah?
to my story? Yeah.
Are there people like that in your life now, and how do you feel about people who can't see outside of their own perspectives?
It's a person. They in my life, but they not in my life like that.
Mm.
And you know, gotta keep them at a distance. I don't believe it's anybody else like that because I could peep it, I could hear it just in their normal conversation.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And it's not like I'm just, oh, high and mighty. You need to see it. Actually, yes, I am. Let me not lie. Because why don't you see it from other people's point of view? Like, you don't even think about it. You know what I mean? And with me, they go into relationships. That's why I be confused when people say they don't know, especially when it's about the significant other. For example, I don't know why he said that or he did that, or flipping it. I don't know why she said that or she felt like that.
Yes, you do. You just don't want to be like, I did something that triggered that. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I do tend to stay away from people that can't see life from other people's perspectives. Now, like you said previously, if there are other perspectives that's like complete gibberish, I'm working out the cuss. And then there's other people's perspective where it's like, oh, let me adapt some of that way of thinking to better my life. So it just depends on your perception of who you are now and where you want to go.
Yeah, and I think.
What about you? Do you think it's people in your life that can't see?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Actually, Fudge, we know somebody who can't. Yeah. Yes, this person like a roach. They won't go away. Yeah, I changed my answer. Yes, there is somebody in my life who can't see outside their own perspective.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's sad though too, cause like it's one of those things too. It's like,
and this person get away with it because
I think we talking about two different people, brother. But I do know what you're talking about.
I'm not hopping on the bandwagon the person you talking about. That's why I swerved in another lane.
Nah, but the one that I'm talking about is kind of saddening because it's like, dude, we can have such a great relationship, but you can't see outside of your own perspective.
See, I'm getting out this car. Let me out. Let me out.
Don't stop the car.
Because the moment you said for sure, I said, oh, fuck. I did it now.
Well, this has been...
So we know a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been something that's been going on for a while. It just kind of get to that point now. It's like, from what I perceive, you will not change your perception.
No matter what happened in your life, you standing 10 toes on this bullshit.
And it's crazy though, because I think like even when certain things happen or a chain of events happen or certain areas in your life never seem to flourish. I feel like in those moments you got to take a step back and go, all right, bro.
Sometimes you gotta take 3 steps back.
Yeah, and go, what's going wrong? You know what I'm saying? Let me change my perception of this. Let me be more open to other people's perspectives.
Yeah.
Let me, you know what I'm saying? Or let's be real about your perspective. It's a difference when somebody can go, hey, I was raised this way, this is what I was taught, this is what I normalized. But if somebody hit, I'm this person and this, I'm no, bro. If somebody hit you with some straight, there's a difference between explaining your perspective or your perception on life based off of what you've been through and relating it to some of the issues that you have in your life and some of the ways that you move. There's a difference between that and justifying your bullshit.
Yes. And I feel like people are getting good with that.
They make it sound like, oh, I got to rob this bank because I ain't know what to do. Nigga, do DoorDash.
I don't want to wait.
Exactly.
I needed it instantly, yeah.
And I only grew up around it, which it could be real, but it's like, all right.
Where did that get them?
Yeah.
For real.
What people, and
where did your generation or Rabbit Bank family members lead to?
And I was even talking to Brandon about that last episode where I was low-key doing that in college to where I had some real issues in my life that I was dealing with, some real demons that I was dealing with, but instead of me taking a step back and building a perspective on my life, so that way I would be perceived differently to other people, I started letting that be real reasons that I started doing dumb shit, and I started blaming it on the dumb shit or like on the things that I've been through. You know what I'm saying? So like I was kind of getting good at the justifications too, because it's like I really did go through some stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I was moving in spite. I was moving in spite instead of moving despite.
You just said something about when you was in college, you was justifying your actions even though you know they was wrong. Looking at it now, I feel like I was the same way. I didn't go to college though, but I was justifying some things because I was like, well, that's how I was raised. No. You don't want to grow. You don't want to do things differently.
Yeah.
You don't want to take 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5 steps back to get a better view of everything. Like the quarterback, you just beat me in Madden. We got to get a rematch. But yeah, he beat me in Madden.
I wasn't gonna say that about it, but you said it.
But I'm gonna score this. As a quarterback, you gotta drop back. Sometimes you gotta drop back some more to see who open.
I get what you're getting at, brother.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta have that quarterback approach.
Let me see which is the best option here.
Exactly.
And let me figure out how to play this defense. Yeah.
Which is life.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's pretty much all I had on perception, I mean, I feel like it's not really too much to say about perspective, perception, and stuff like that. I just want to know what people think about it because although I can't think of too much to say about it right now, it's just one of those things where it's powerful, bro. And, when I'm sitting here having these conversations with these great people and I'm understanding their perspectives on lives and how they were raised and, how that played a role in the perspectives and then the type of men that they ultimately turned out to be, I get interested by that because I feel like a lot more things can be solved or a lot more things could be cohesive. I feel like a lot more things could be easier if we just like, all right, bro, I kind of see why you know what I'm saying? Simple as that. All right, I see why you think that way. Or all right, I see why you move that way. All right, let me offer this to you. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever thought about this?
You could say I may not see. I agree with it, but I understand it.
Yeah, I don't see it that way. But that's cool. And
You about to say I feel, ain't you? You about to say I feel, ain't you?
I feel like I wasn't gonna say that. So this has been another episode of the Parlance Podcast. You want to drop your socials one more time, boy?
Nate_Whitted on Instagram. Yeah.
And Zena Sky Marketing
on Instagram. And his is Von_Merritt on Instagram. YouTube is, that's not it. It's Von_Merritt. on DSP, Spotify, Apple, Tidal, Vine, Merritt. You can listen to Energy. You can listen to Stepping Stones.
Art of Love. Cause I do R&B, I be singing.
I was about to say, hit a note and you did. Perfect.
I was thinking about that little shit Jerome be doing on my. I was trying to say. This has been another episode of the Parlance Podcast. I love you all, my supporters. If you're watching this and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe.
And like, and
subscribe.
share, and comment.
And subscribe.